Welcome back to the Integrate Intelligently podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Brickler. I'm accompanied today by, again, my brother and founder of CAD Talk Software, Scott Brickler. Scott, it's good to see you again. Good to be here having this conversation and finishing up our mini series about AI. I just joined this podcast after imagine that, using some form of AI.
Me too.
So this last episode really is going to be around AI is new, and it's for you and me. I'm sure it's exciting. We expand our knowledge, expand our capabilities, get a leg up, right? Be able to learn faster, do more. But not everybody embraces technology the same as you and I do. So, I mean, one of the challenges businesses are going to have with AI is you'll get fast adoption. We know that millions and millions and millions of people are using AI every day. You have that initial adoption, but really, how do you build an AI-fluent culture? And, how would you give advice to, people to get better with AI, right? Like if you're going to say, okay, what does your resume look like as AI? And have your AI expertise, right? What are you trying to do here? Because it's all so new. It's very much like the internet or the mobile revolution, right? Everybody's just like, I remember back in 2000 in the internet revolution, and it's going on all around you, and it was so new. I hadn't seen enough of that. I wasn't in that space at the time. I didn't know how to get on the wave, right? Like, well, what do I even do? I don't even know how to. And so I think some people might feel that way today, like I did, 20 plus years, 25 years ago. So let's talk a little bit about you being a leader. What does building an AI culture look like? What are the bottlenecks? Like, how do you see yourself as the role model, right? And then how do I as an employee, take the first step and the second step and the third step? And how do I build up that AI resume?
Yeah, I think that, and maybe just my style of leadership or how I like to do it, but I think there's two different ways. You want to be truth seeking and truth telling, right? Which it seems obvious, right, about certain things, but it's kind of thing. I think you want to say what it is, but not worse than it is, and not better than it is, right? So it's so with AI, you can I have conversations quite a bit with people, and they're just like, well, it's going to do these things. They were, of course, they're doomsday. As humans are have a negative bias, so we think about all the doomsday part of it. And then what if it replaces my job? And what if it does this? What if it does that? And I get it. I mean, I totally understand the fears there, but it's it's not really optional. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. That's the truth, right? It's inevitable. So then it just becomes if something's inevitable, what do you do about it? How are you going to act? Right. So so think about an organization, you're like the organizations will be disrupted. There will be change. These things. It is inevitable. So how do I take advantage of that as opposed to being a victim of it? And that's just the reality, right? And then you say, okay, well, and then I'm here to support you, and the organization's here to support you to figure out how to make sure that you take advantage of that. And then really describe kind of how the future is going to be. Once again, we talked about this on the last episode. It's you got to create a compelling vision that includes what they're looking to do and where they want to go. And that's just that really comes down to that. And don't sugarcoat it or tell people things they want to hear because they think it's going to make them feel good. You can make somebody feel good. It's ignorance is not bliss in this situation. If you don't look at the car while you're crossing the street, it can still run you over.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the truth, right? So you have to kind of to drive that. And so I think AI fluency is not really optional. Right. I mean, I knew one follower or one creator that I follow, he's telling all his people, you have to automate 92% of your job, right now, automate 92% of your job. And then the 8% is your creative part, the part that's you, but you're basically a director. You're not a doer anymore. And you got to figure out how to change your mindset around from doing to directing, and really work in that kind of different paradigm, right? And then go towards that, and then experiment with things and learn and change your workflows. And and a lot of these things, people they get overwhelmed by. I think they're just oh my God, there's so much here to do and learn. But learning doesn't happen as an event; it happens as a process. Mm-hmm. When you used to be a teacher, you know this, right? It's learning isn't an event; it's a process, and that it's an incremental process that compounds. Mm-hmm. So you start something, you get feedback, you improve. You do some more, you get some feedback, you improve, and it compounds. And then eventually,
it's iterative, back and forth.
It also sits on that exponential curve too.
Yeah, sure does.
And then eventually you just become really good at it. And that's skill development. And you have to start that process sooner than later so you get the compounding effect. And the longer you avoid doing anything, you can't get on the curve to get the hockey stick. So I think we just got to, like I said, really the idea of that is to irony to not be replaced by AI is to learn AI. And I don't think people are going to. I don't think people will necessarily. I do believe this. I don't think people will get replaced by AI. Do I think some jobs will get displaced? Yeah, but a sure thing I know for sure. I mean, for sure that people will get replaced by people using AI.
Right. Yeah. I think about like, yeah, I mean, the people are going to be important, right? As they always are. I mean, because Cat Talk's in the automation game, right? We're in the software automation game, and that's that. I've done 1,000 calls with customers over the years, and guaranteed that some customers are afraid that Cat Talk's going to eliminate their job. They don't ever say that out loud, but you can tell by the way that they talk. And it's like, well, no, the goal isn't to eliminate your job. The goal is to give you to take away the parts of the job that you're really not adding value to, right? We want you to on the harder problems, the things that really need that expertise, need that experience, need more than just sort of the lower level stuff, right? Every advancement in technological advancement, I was talking to my sons this on the way to school. We were walking to school now, which I love. It's amazing. Is we talk about like I said, every advancements in technology, computers, AI, everything just makes it easier for a person to get to like use that tool and get good at that thing faster, right? Like I think about like construction of my home. Like I live in a home, it's 150 years old. It's built out of plaster. Back in the day, you had plasters, right? And you had to mix buckets and horsehair and gravel and all these different coats and specialized ornamental plaster. You can kind of see it in the background here, maybe a little bit. Like those guys are super skilled, super skilled. Years and years of training and apprenticeship. And then they came up with drywall and drywall mud and tape, right? And it's like what they did was like they took a guy who would take like 10 years to become a master plasterer. You can become a master drywaller in 2, right? And that's the same thing with everything else, right? Like coding, right? Like coding in C or Fortran or any of those. And then now they got IDEs and, C# and all these different programming tools. And now they got vibe coding, right? So again, like the barrier of entry keeps getting lower and lower and lower, and people can stand on the shoulders of other things, right? The tool gets better. So, but ultimately the people are still just standing on those shoulders, and becoming much more productive, producing a lot more things. And I also think about like what Gary Vaynerchuk recently said, because he's like, I totally believe that somebody's job in the world of AI, when you got bots running around doing all your stuff, and because there'll be a job where you'll be able to like rent a real person to walk with you.
Yeah.
Like you can sell your services. Like I'll just walk an hour with you. We'll just go side by side, just chat. Just be humans. He's like he's betting that's going to be a job.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Uber driver wasn't a job until Uber came.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it like disruption and change is like. I mean, it sounds trite, but it's inevitable, right? It's like that, and then just being able to adjust to it and figure out like how to exist in that. I think that like I don't think anybody who's ever wished it away has ever really worked it out really well for them. It just doesn't, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I think that, yeah, it's tough. I get it because not everybody had, sometimes I can hear people like screaming at it now going like, well, that's nice for you to say because you have the capacity to learn. And some people are, they have this and they have that. I totally get it. I get not everybody's created equal. I mean, that's just the nature of life. Right. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't change anything. Screaming at the wind, wishing, or the rain or the storm, and wishing it wasn't so doesn't keep it from coming. It just is, and so it's just how do you, like us humans, like the trait that we have that's pretty amazing is the ability to adapt, even if we don't want to.
Yeah, we always do. Yeah, we always do. Yeah, I think about all the time. From a leadership standpoint, I always think about like I try to encourage my team to use AI. Try new stuff, right? Try new stuff, learn. Don't be afraid to get in there and do it. I'm never going to be upset that you used a tool and then, maybe you didn't use it in the best way, but I was excited that you used it because again, over time, you get better and better and better. So I just kind of, encourage them to use it, encourage them to spend a little time trying to get better, that 1% better every day, that compounding effect.
Well, I mean, fear makes for a bad teacher, right? It's or fear gives bad advice. That's
Mhm.
actually a better way of saying it. Like, I mean, so people are afraid, and it's just like the fear just drives that bad advice. Where it's like, and usually, and also not knowing provides doesn't help either. It's like
Yeah.
once you start using these technologies and you start doing it, you actually it's hard not to be excited about it. It's hard
Yeah, it
not to
is.
like see with the potentials and how it could help and the leverage it gives you. Like you can move so much faster, do so much more, and produce so much more. It's exciting. Like if you think about humans as being, if we're made to work and we're made to be to be creative and to give our best selves out to the world, then technology that can multiply that is
Mhm.
exciting.
No, it is exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I think about it, I just hundreds of use cases I can use for AI all the time, and then when I use it, I'm like, "Man," just like what I also found is, like, the quality of my work goes up because what would normally take me it's like, "Okay, I did this just before this call. I need to write an email, complex email that, lots of delicate and lots of lots of different things, right, coming around to it. And if to really do it right and like competently, it would take an hours because I need to pull a bunch of information. I got to, segment it. I put all that kind of context in the window, did my chat, gave it to gave it my background and sloppy, like my own words. And bam, 30 minutes later, what would have taken me at least all day to do, minimum to pull everything together, done in 30 minutes, even an hour.
Mhm.
Maybe say it's an hour, done. So,
Oh, it's
like 1/8 the time. And it was better than I could have done, but like better than I could have done the first draft. I would have been like drafting and redrafting and
mm,
redrafting and boom, done.
oh
Click,
yeah.
sent, and polished.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I think it's like I know we have to button up because I think I've got to run here, but the it's just yeah, like, I haven't found anything like I would just kind of summarize it like you have to use it and you can't help be excited about it when you start using it and you really understand how it works. And
Yeah.
once you get past that messy beginning and the messy like that messy beginning and like everything's like I was talking about running the other day. The first mile always sucks,
Yeah.
but then when you start running, it's a lot of fun. And we'll probably like kind of end on that thought. But do you have a call to action you want to do before we close up for the day? Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, thanks for the talk. This, AI is just really exciting, both in our business and helping clients and thinking about it. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Subscribe to the Integrate Intelligently podcast, leave a comment here on the YouTube page, follow us, go to the website, check out our resources there. We had the ROI calculator. You can, request a demo, check out the Cat Talk Journey page, see if we can help you. Really look forward, Scott, to our next episodes coming up in the coming weeks.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thanks.
All right.